guys, Shadney back with another process video for the Scrapbooking for Beginner series, and I'm just showing you how I'm going through this entire kit and using up as much of it as possible. So today what I've done is I pulled out this paper, and originally I thought this will be great. I will use this as a Halloween layout because this black and white, it's just not my favorite, but it's so busy, nothing I put on it is gonna stand out. So I got really kind of frustrated with it and played with it for a while and just got really annoyed and hated it. So we're gonna turn it over and I'm gonna cut a strip of it so you'll get a little bit of the black, but it's not gonna be so overwhelming. So this is probably about 3 inches, about 3 1/4. So I will keep the white side. There's the black side. Oh, and I need to adhere it together. If I was just working out of my stash, I honestly would probably use another piece of paper that I knew I wasn't going to use and back it. But since I'm not doing that, here, hold on. We're going to do this first. We're gonna make do with what we have, and I'll show you a little trick to stretch your stash. So this is the back of the paper pad, and I'm just gonna use, because we might use some of this later for some embellishments. So right now I'm just gonna use this part right here. And then we'll cut it just a little bit shorter. Oh, I marked it. I remember. Make sure. Yep, I marked it right there. So I put adhesive here, and then I'm going to put adhesive on the outside of these 2 pieces. And then across the top and the bottom. And if I wasn't planning, actually I'm just going to add some extra. If I wasn't planning on using some of the cover of the paper pad, then I wouldn't be as worried and would just probably use the whole cover. But since I know I'm probably going to be counting on that as some embellishments once my stash starts running low in this kit, we'll just go ahead and use just a small strip. So then you still have some stability to your page. Okay, so now I have my photo, and this is what I'm gonna map my photo on, just like that. So I'm gonna gut that paper because that's a lot of really pretty text paper to get rid of just for this photo. Hold on one second. Okay, sorry about that. The dog was like super crying to get out of the craft room. So I had to go let him out. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and get this paper real quick, and actually, just so you can see, what I do is I just go around and I don't cut all the way to the edge. And on this one, I'm doing a 3/4 of an inch border, except on the bottom, I'm doing a 1 inch border because it doesn't go all the way down to the bottom because my title will overlap it. A little bit. So then we still, oh, didn't cut all the way through. We can back our photo, and it looks like the full page is back there, but we still have this to play with later for a different layout. Okay, I'll go ahead and adhere the photo to the paper. And I've tried to go ahead and pre-plan as much as possible so that it'll go a little quicker on here and you don't have to sit around and watch me do nothing forever. So now I've got all these labels cut out. They are from different collections. these are from the LE Studio free printables that I'd mentioned before. And then any of the ones like this that have the double line are from my free printables. And I'm just kind of going, and I'll be layering some of them too. But keeping the labels centered down this line, and then they'll kind of head off on either direction. I mean on either side of it. But we're gonna ultimately be covering up that entire line. So just working our way down. And this will not only, it'll cover up the seam, but it'll give it a little bit more interest and some texture on the page since it's just a solid white background right now. And that's kind of boring. And I mean, we'll do some other fun stuff on it in a minute, just to jazz it up a little bit because it is rather boring right now. So I'm gonna try to get that one under there. And I tried to vary the widths of the labels. That one kind of bothers me that it's the same. We might have to move it because it's really bothering me. Okay. No, that's the same color. Maybe I'll just offset it a little bit and we'll just call that good. There we go. We'll just do that. That's better. And just working our way all the way down. I know this is kind of a boring part, but I feel like you probably should see the whole process just so you understand what I'm doing or where I'm going with it, I guess. And actually I'm going to start on this side and work that way now, just because I don't want to run out of labels and have a gap. So I'm going to start down here. And again, just keeping it centered. There we go. Let's do this guy. Looks like I might run out anyways. I don't know. Okay. Oh, maybe just perfect. Do that one there. Oh, yay. It was perfect. 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 Okay. They're a little crooked, but that's okay. I'm fine with it. You get the idea. Okay. So just trimming the overhanging ones. And then there we go. So now we have this fun background started. My photo is going to overlap all of these just a little bit. This is my title. I'm trying to make sure my layout doesn't go out of frame. Sorry, my brain stopped for a second and I couldn't remember the word. So I'm going to say, always cute little butterfly. And then we're going to do butterflies up the side there. Okay, so what I've decided to do, I'm gonna do just a tiny bit of mixed media on the background here. So I'm gonna use my ruler real fast and try to make sure this is kind of lined up straight. And then just very lightly draw around the edge of this paper. And actually, while I am thinking about it, I'm going to go ahead and ink the edges of this paper as well, just lightly with that gray ink. And then set that aside. Oh, and I did print out a smaller version of that photo because I wasn't sure what I was going to use yet. Okay, now I'm going to pull out the gold. And I don't know the best way to do this. I just want kind of a gold border right here. And it's just kind of a messy, it doesn't have to be perfect. I just want a little bit of color on this background because there's no color. So we're gonna jazz it up just a bit. And I'll do some splatters in a minute as well, so I'm not worried about these little bits that are out here. Tiny little bit more. Okay, and then if you're doing a lot of mixed media, you really want to have gesso on the background just to add a barrier between the paint or the liquid and your paper. It'll keep it from warping as bad, and it'll just give it a little bit better surface. I just realized I don't know that I shook this. But then since we're not doing a whole lot of liquid on here, sorry, India's yelling she needs a potty, but Phil's here. He's taking care of her. It's fine. What was I talking about? Oh, gesso. Sorry. I had to think about it for a minute. Whenever it'll keep your paper from warping, but it also, you'll get more vibrant colors from your, whatever your mixed media product is, whether it's paint or ink or anything like that. You'll get more vibrant colors out of it, and it won't immediately soak into your paper like this. Pretty much immediately soaks into the paper, and it'll give you a little bit more wiggle room. So if you make a mistake and you have gesso down, for the most part, you can probably you have a chance to kind of wipe it up if you need to. So I'm gonna do it like that. And actually, I'm gonna set this aside to dry while we make some butterflies. So I've pulled out this paper and this paper. I don't have any orange because, you know, there's no orange in this collection. So I just did all the colors on the labels of orange and pink and blush and coral, like all of those kind of tones, so that hopefully I could tie the orange from her butterfly into the rest of the layout. And then we are just going to stamp and fussy cut. And like we did the other day with the circle punches, I'm gonna work back and forth so that the butterflies fit together really well, and we can possibly get more butterflies out of this sheet than we could have if we just went straight across. There we go. And then same thing over here. I'm gonna do all three of these pinks, and then I'm gonna do this brighter pink. And I'm hoping, even though they are swans, that you won't really be able to tell they're swans. So we'll see. Oh, that one kind of messed up. Let's see if we can fix it. Not bad. Let's see. I'll put him right there. And then just repeating all the way down. If the paper spinning is getting you dizzy, I'm very sorry, and you are more than welcome to fast forward. But actually that's the end of it, so there you go. And this one, I was not being as careful because what I'm doing is I'm trying to block out where the beaks are, so you just get pink and white instead of the whole goose or swan. Sorry, swan. So I didn't get as many, but that is just fine. And then after my paper's dry, I'm going to stamp some stars and hearts across the background as well. And then I'm gonna go ahead and pause you and fussy cut these guys out, and then I'll come back. Okay, I'm back. And I have all my butterflies fussy cut, and I was gonna show you just really quickly. If you notice, the butterfly on the stamp has antennae, however you say it. I did not worry about that when I was fussy cutting. I was very quickly fussy cutting, not being perfect whatsoever, not being super careful, and I did not even try to save those antennae, however you say it. But because honestly, it doesn't really matter. And whenever I glue these down, I'll pop their wings up just a little bit so that they will be dimensional. And until then, I'm just gonna scoot them aside over here. And really quickly, I'm gonna show you, I have this 6x8 piece of paper. And what I'm gonna do is make some really cute little gold photo corners. And first I had to trim off, it was still showing some of the perforated edge, so I didn't want to do that. And then I'm gonna cut it at, okay, 1/2 inch, just larger than 1/2 inch, between 1/2 inch and 3/4 of an inch. And then repeat the same thing between 1/2 inch and 3/4 of an inch. And then one more time. And I keep repeating it because I was trying to remind myself. So now I still have the whole integrity of this page, like you didn't lose any of it, but now we have a gold strip we can play with, or we can use for photo corners. So if I can get those off there. There we go. All right, and then all we do is cut diagonally across from corner to corner. And now photo corners. And then I will use my Nuvo glue, not Drew, to adhere them in place. And it adds just a little bit of extra detail to the photo, especially when I don't really have a lot of embellishments in this kit that will coordinate with this particular page because it is Halloween. But I just wanted to show you, you can kind of do a variety of pages with a single kit depending on how you use the kit. So I just wanted to show you a good example of that. So Halloween, and we did Christmas before, so. Okay, now this page should be nice and dry. Yep. We're gonna go ahead and adhere this down. Sorry, I lost my tape runner for a minute. And this one I am going to just adhere the photo flat. I'm not going to add foam because it is rather large, and I'm going to use some foam and some other dimensional items on the page. So I was trying to line it up back with the lines that I had drawn with my pencil. So I'm going to go ahead and add the title before I get any further and lose my spot. And of course, using Nuvo glue because they're thickers and they don't stick. And I know a lot of people don't like embellishing over their photo, which is totally fine. If you don't like it, don't do it. But I just think it adds a nice little touch, and it kind of ties all the embellishing in with the photo, kind of ties it all together, in my opinion. If you don't like it, again, don't do it. But I also don't ever scrap with original photos, or if I do, if I were to, I would probably use photo corners and not add stuff over my photo. But for the most part, I do not. I don't remember the last time I scrapped an original photo, so I'm not too worried about it. And then I'm gonna do little where it just kind of tucks into those little creases of where the bottom of the T is. Do that one right there. And then lastly, we have butterfly. And these, sadly, I have to glue down one at a time because their adhesive is like almost completely gone. It's really kind of frustrating. But they're pretty and they're gold, and we're gonna use them up to the best of our abilities, at least. And then we're going to embellish after this. Actually, I'm probably going to stamp some little stars around after this, just to add some more to this background before we add all our butterflies. I usually, if you haven't watched my channel for very long, on a normal basis, I don't prefer doing white background layouts. I definitely prefer pattern paper. And even if I'm going to use solid cardstock, I prefer colored cardstock. So white's not really my jam. And then, oh, I'm gonna stamp stars. So I'm pull these stamps out. And I'll probably do them just in little like clusters. And then I'll go back also with a couple other shapes, like some hearts and some other sizes of stars. Oh, that was lovely. Okay, let's use the back of something. That's my thing from the other day. I'm just going to use the back of that so that I don't stamp off onto my desk. And just repeating around the page until you are satisfied. And I'm going to switch out for a heart. And again, just kind of stamping in these little clustered areas. I'm gonna double stamp that one just because it doesn't show up very well on that dark. Then I have another tiny star. And then I have another tiny heart that I can also add some of too. And just kind of wherever you feel like, it doesn't have to be perfect, it's just adding some texture and some movement to the page. And honestly, just helping get rid of some of the white space because it's just a little too much for me. Okay, and then we'll move on to the tiny heart, and then we will be good with the white space. Okay, I really like how this is coming out, actually. I was kind of really worried. When I first started playing with this, it was not coming along well. So I'm really glad how it is ending up. Okay, so we are good on that. And now we're gonna go ahead and add all our butterflies. Okay, so in my head, they're just gonna go down this side. And I was thinking about doing them like kind of ombre, but I kind of like them all mixed together, I think. And just kind of following the labels as well. Like if one sticks out a little further, I'm taking the butterfly out a little further. I'm down here. I think that's good. Maybe add a couple up here. There we go. And then for these guys, I am literally just adhering down the very middle part. and keeping the rest of the body kind of dimensional, just to get a little bit of extra dimension on the layout and just a little bit more texture, especially because I didn't pop the photo up. And just going through. This is kind of the easy part. I'm curious, so who all is a fan of fussy cutting or not? Maybe let me know that in the comments. Because I like the little tedious parts of crafting, which sounds dumb, but that's always my favorite part. So I do like fussy cutting, but I also like fussy cutting in front of the TV or in front of YouTube videos. Okay, so all of these guys are adhered down now. Make sure, yep, they're all adhered down. And then I have just a few little sprinkly bits. I was gonna add a little brad. Actually, I might still add brads. I just need a little bit more fun texture. Where are my, there they are. Oh, and this is kind of hard because it's going through that middle piece that I backed the paper with on this one. The card stock from the paper pad cover. Sorry, like the words weren't coming. Okay, so we got those down. And I was going to punch some hearts and stars. I might just punch a couple of stars from that gold, because that could be pretty. Okay, so there's a couple. And I don't think the Stampin' Dimensionals are small enough for those guys, so we're just gonna add them right there. And on this one, I didn't do 3 spots of embellishment, but that is just fine. I'm just going to kind of sprinkle these last couple ones around. Just to draw your eye down here to the title. Give a little bit more down here because it is kind of a busy layout, which is funny because I was talking about how the other side was busy, but this is busy too. And then I've got a couple little shapes over here that I'm going to use some Stampin' Dimensionals on and add. And I think I'm just going to do the hearts and stars and not these guys. And I just realized I didn't leave any open space for my journaling. So that's fun. So I might go in with some journaling strips later and add some journaling down here. And I didn't leave place for a date, but oh, I do have a little date Yeah, that one says date. And I might just stick him right there. Or right here. Right here. And then these little word strips are from one of my cut apart sheets that I linked in the kit video. So if you are interested in them, they are free downloads, and you can go back to the video where I shared the kit, and they are all linked in the description. So you can download. Okay, I really, really love this page. It's really busy, but it's amazing. And then I have these guys. I'm gonna add just a few of the orange ones. I'm gonna do one more little gold star up here in that cluster, since that did end up kind of being a cluster. There we go. And actually I want to do a little bit of scribbling on here just because it feels very all over the place. So we're gonna try to rein it in just a little bit with some doodly border. And if you've not watched Adele from Inky Quill, she is the queen of the doodly border and all the messy, fun, amazing backgrounds. So you should definitely go look up Inky Quill on YouTube and watch everything she's ever made, because she's awesome. She's Aussie, and she has 2 of the cutest kids you've ever seen. And actually, I might just do my journaling right here. That would be super easy. And I'll just do October 2019. Okay, sorry guys. Phil walked in and was trying to talk to me right in the middle of filming. So I went ahead and finished my doodly border. I did around the outside and then around the outside of this guy. And then I went ahead and filled in my journaling down here. These are like 2 separate thoughts, not all the way across. It's this side and then over here. And then I just wanted to do one more little thing. I just wanted to add a couple little tiny stars in just a few places, like near my, I can't do it on the photo, I guess, near my little clusters, just to add a little bit of something else. And then just fill in some of these little odd spaces. So that's pretty much it. And then that's it. So this was super fun. I'm surprised how much more I liked it than I thought I would. It's kind of crazy. I've been looking at each piece individually, so it's been super fun to look at, but now that I'm looking through the lens of the camera, it's a lot. I didn't realize how much. So it was super fun though. I really do love how it turned out. It might be a little much for most people. That's fine. If you don't like this style, then definitely don't do that. Thankfully, scrapbooking, there is not a right or wrong way to do it. So it is all about doing what you love and documenting the memories you want to keep. So I will go ahead and show you this little close-up. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, please hit like and leave me a comment if you have any questions or anything. Oh, I did ask a question earlier about comments, but now I don't remember what it was. So if you remember what my question was, answer that below. Sorry. And then if you want to see more fun processes, especially this series, please hit subscribe and hit that bell notification so you will always be notified when I post another video. Thank you again, and have a wonderful day, and happy scrapping.